How are you today? I wanted to make this quick Facebook Live, take a quick breather from server-side pixel event frenzy, that's the right word, and instead talk a little bit about the new basic Facebook pixel integration for Shopify. It's a funny thing. I noticed it for the first time last Friday, and I immediately made a new instruction video in Trackify because, of course, it's confusing for anyone who comes in to Trackify new, or for anyone really who opens up their Shopify settings page and notices, oh, there's something different, and what is that going to do to us, and stuff like that. So I want to use this call today, and it's going to be short enough. So I want to use it to show you the details of what the changes are, how they possibly impact you or not, and what you can do to still kind of navigate around the issues. So before we get started, and I'm hoping that YouTube has caught up by now, there's actually kind of like a different delay between going live on Facebook and going live on YouTube. So I always have to kill a little bit of time, but I like to kind of put in the beginning of the call what we're actually going to talk about, so that there's some orientation. So let's just see here what's going on. First of all, before we really get in, I want to invite you over to the actual location of the video. It seems like I placed the link to the actual video in the description where I shared the video today to the group. So click on that so that I can see your comments, because I know there are some confusion. There was some confusion recently. Hey, Jackie, gonna watch this later on News Store. I just saw this. I don't like it. It seems like Facebook and Shopify working together now. Less privacy possibility. Yeah, good point. Good point. Well, so yeah, go ahead and watch it later. I didn't really want to make another Facebook Live before I got a haircut. I sincerely need to get my second lockdown haircut. But here we go. So say hi, come on over to the original location of the video, and let's go. I'm just going to start sharing my screen here. I don't know why this is flickering like crazy. Let's see what happens if I take this away and maybe just reopen it in here. Oh yeah, I see why that is. Okay, cool. Okay, so here's what it's all about, right? Here's what all the buzz is about. I was actually trying to find, let me blow this up and turn myself off. There you go. So I was actually trying to find a shop just now where I still had a Facebook pixel in the Shopify form field that used to be right here. So there used to be just a field like this, where you paste in your Facebook pixel ID and then you hit save, and that's it. So if you have your Facebook pixel ID inserted in Shopify right now in this old-fashioned way, in the way that used to be, what this looks like here now is you actually have a form field right above this button, but then you also have the button, but you can still see your pixel ID in there, and you can see this little link where it says change, just like this, and then you can click on change and take your pixel ID out and hit save. But if you do that, then you're only going to be able to put your Facebook pixel back in via the basic Shopify integration by using this button here and set it up. And so what that button does is it opens, it installs the Facebook app in Shopify. And so once you have installed that, once you've okayed all of that, it shows up right here on the sales channels, because it is actually a combination of several apps that Shopify was running separately before. And that's the thing, they've announced that for a little while, but they haven't really announced how exactly they're going to do it. But so basically what this is the Facebook sales channel that creates a Facebook shop on top of your page, and you can very nicely integrate that. That's always been a pretty cool integration. Kind of also quite restrictive, but I always thought that was a pretty good integration. Hey, Kirill, how are you, man? Let me say hi to you. Let me show your comment. That is good to see you. We need to catch up on your app. That is, I'm curious to see when you're launching and how everything is going. So let me, ping me in Slack later on, and we'll have a chat about that. Cool. So so back to this here. So there are several apps that are combined. So number one was the Facebook Store app. I don't remember what they used to call it. Then they had a thing that they called Facebook Marketing app, and that app is basically a remote control ads manager that is simplified, where you can just run your ads directly from the Facebook Marketing app. And you can see this is integrated here, right? This is now integrated here. It's active because I have fully set this integration up in this shop, because I wanted to show this to you right now. So this is ready to go. I can create a campaign here right now, and it's going to help me, promote these products that are there. So that's one thing that is integrated. And then I wonder if what they've done with the Kit app, if anyone knows about the Kit app. Awesome, Kirill, thanks. If anyone knows what happened to the Kit app, and if it's actually has been integrated into this, that would be great as well. It's always been annoying to us in Trackify and dealing with support, that there was always in Shopify kind of an underhanded way of putting the Facebook pixel in Shopify by simply installing one of these Shopify Facebook related apps like Facebook Marketing, like the Kit app. And I think those were the only two where that was the case. So what happened is, generally speaking, when you're running the pixel in Trackify, we have you uninstall the pixel from Shopify, because they fire events into, Shopify fires events into the Trackify pixel, because they have just a dirty, unclean way of sending their events, whereas Trackify actually has a clean way of sending events. So we're sending the events specific to each pixel, but Shopify just kind of throws it out there, and it bleeds into everything else that you might be running on the page. And so that's the main reason why we have you uninstall the Shopify pixel when you run pixels in Trackify. And so we had you just take out the pixel from the form field there in the online store settings and save, and that was it. But then as soon as you install the Kit app or the Facebook Marketing app and kind of set this up for, with inside those apps, they actually fired your pixel, however you connected that to it, in the same way as if the pixel was put into the online store settings. So it was always this thing in Trackify customer service: have you removed the pixel from Shopify? Yes, but it's still firing. So where is it coming from? Well, do you have the Facebook Marketing app or the Kit app installed? Where they've got to go, because they're just firing the Facebook pixel in your shop. I mean, the Shopify basic integration pixel in your shop, and that interferes with Trackify. So if you want to use Trackify, you just have to get rid of those apps. And now they've put these all into each other, which in a sense makes it a little bit more practical if you just want to go with a very basic integration, nothing fancy here, and just kind of, let Shopify take it by the hand and set up your Facebook ads and set up your Facebook shop and stuff like that. So then you're fine with that. You can do that. And it's kind of integrated and makes things a little bit easier than it was before, where everything was in multiple apps and so forth. But on the other hand, when you are more advanced, or when you want to grow better data in your pixels, like with Trackify, or if you want to manage multiple pixels in Trackify, it has become a little bit trickier to really understand what you can keep of these apps that you actually want to use in Shopify, and what you have to remove because it would interfere with Trackify. So the simple solution with this, if you want to use Trackify or any other pixel app for that matter that is advanced compared to the basic Shopify. Now, I have to obviously say a plug here, right? Every other pixel app in Shopify is just a replica, in a sense, a make what's that called? An imitation of Trackify, right? Because I want to just remind you, Trackify is the original Facebook Pixel app that was here in Shopify, even before Shopify was ever thinking about integrating any form of Facebook Pixel. So we'll get into the Trackify history lesson later, but I just wanted to kind of mention this here on the side. All right, so let's get on with this here. Let me get myself out of this again so I can actually look at the picture without looking weird on screen. So we have this Facebook marketing app integrated here. And so the way that this setup works is basically this. You click up here on settings, and then you see everything is kind of organized here. On this first page, you have Facebook ad account, Facebook business manager, and Facebook page that are selected here, and everything is connecting through your Facebook profile. So if you lose access to any of this stuff from your Facebook profile, you're pretty much stuck, because then you just have to disconnect this and see that you can connect another business manager. Hopefully you have access to another one. Hopefully it's not also being banned, or what if your Facebook profile gets banned or has a timeout while you're also have issues with Facebook Business Manager. So that's all a little bit more questionable. Anyway, here are the basic account settings here, where you set the Facebook profile. I wouldn't even really call that a Facebook account. It's a Facebook profile here. And then this is the business manager. You can only connect one business manager here. And then this is a Facebook page. The idea here is that you're running ads only on one page, and this is also the page where your Facebook store, the sales channel here, will be hosted. It will be also on this page right there. Now, you still don't have anything here that has to do with Pixel, right? And that's why you're going to click through here onto the next tab, which is called Marketing Settings. And that opens up your actual ad account. And again, you can only connect one ad account at a time here. And then you're done with that. And then here's pixel tracking. That's the next thing, right? And then you set up a few more things here. You can actually enable advanced matching. That's a new thing that Shopify was not able, or did not implement advanced matching before in the Facebook Pixel. So that is now available here. And then there's Facebook terms and conditions. And the target country is set. So anyway, right here is where you would disconnect the pixel, right? You simply just go in here. Before we do this, let's actually take a quick look at this here. Patrick, you might like this if you're online, or if you see this later. Shout out to you. Fond memories. Okay, where are we? Where did the Facebook Pixel Helper go? All right, here we go. Okay, so here's a little trick, right? If you don't know this trick, you need to learn it. This here is Facebook Pixel Helper just kind of popping out of the extension. That's how you normally kind of use it. What you should do, if you want to really see what's going on in Facebook Pixel Helper, you should detach it. And that's done with this little button here. Now you can move it over to the side and click on the window again, and the pixels are here. Then you can open this up wider and kind of see what's going on. By the way, here's a cool new thing, relatively new in Facebook, that they show you now the pixel names here in Facebook Pixel Helper if you are logged in, right? This is only visible if you're logged in and you have your profile that you're logged in with has access to these pixels in Facebook, right? So for you, if you go to this page, you're not going to see the pixel name. You're only going to see the pixel ID. But if it's your pixels, you can see the name. So it's a little bit user-friendlier than it was before. So here is the pixel that is firing the from this part over here, right? From this app. That's the pixel that I've integrated with this app. And there you go. So now let's take it out. We're going to disconnect it from here. You get a stern warning here, in the typical Facebook / Shopify alarmist style. any active Facebook marketing campaigns will stop working and you won't be able to create any new ads. All right, well, good. So, sounds scary. It sounds scary because you can easily overread this, right? Read over this and think that, oh, any Facebook ads will stop working? Well, not so fast. Read carefully here. It says Facebook marketing campaigns. So these are not marketing campaigns that are running on Facebook, but they are campaigns that have been created with the Facebook marketing app that has now been integrated into this. The thing that I showed you first on the first page, right? So if you don't have ads running with that Facebook marketing app, you don't have to worry about a thing. All your ads that are running in your own Shopify, in your own ad account in Facebook that you've set up yourself, they will be running perfectly fine, and they will continue to run even better than before if you disconnect the pixel from here and then put it over into Trackify, right? So that's what we're going to do. But before I click OK here, I'm just going to take this window away from you because that's going to show all my other pixels that I have access to, and we don't want that. Which, by the way, that is kind of a strange thing because Shopify, in this case, this app does not pay attention to whether or not the pixel that you get to select in this dialog is actually assigned to the ad account that you've selected above. So that's going to be a good source for some customer service tickets for Shopify with this app, because if you can select a pixel that the ad account doesn't have access to, and you can mess up this way, then you're going to have problems later. All right, so fine. Now this has been removed, and that's the end of that. And now we can just reload this page over here. And just to confirm that this pixel 1717, however that started, is now gone from this page, right? Okay, so that's simple. That's a simple method of taking a pixel out from there. I just want to show you one more thing here, and because people are kind of curious to see and to learn if what are the benefits of being able to, or is it still possible to run your pixel without being logged into to Facebook with your profile? And the answer is, in Trackify now it is. It has been for a little while. We've not had that be possible, for the longest time, because I want to say, it's a good argument for securing your pixel better, because you wouldn't want someone else to go and just grab your pixel ID from your shop and mess around with it in a different shop where they just fire, whatever, and fire some unauthorized events and mess you up. You wouldn't want that. So with that argument, that's a pretty good argument why you would actually want to have that additional layer of security for having to log in, so that you can only put pixels into the shop that your profile actually has access to in Facebook. So I think that's generally a pretty good argument, but there's some edge cases. So one edge case is, for example, let's say you're hiring an ad agency and they want to give you a pixel to run on your shop, but I did mess up. Okay, there we go. Now I'm back. I think my audio was briefly gone, right? Because I messed up my picture clicking here. All right. So an ad agency gives you their pixel, and they don't want to give you access to the pixel in Facebook, but it's supposed to get on your Shopify page. So you have two possibilities here, two ways to handle that. The first way would be to give them access to your Shopify store, which they probably have already anyway, and let them access Trackify, and then they can log into the Trackify with their profile, and then their profile has access to their pixel, and they can put the pixel in that way. That's the safer way. That's the preferred way. But you can also add the pixel here manually by ID directly, right? So you can put in here a pixel ID that you get from your agency. Then here, let's say you call this thing agency pixel. And then here, you call that a master pixel most likely. Now this here, this is actually this is a development store and a development version that is not the official release version right now, because obviously the server-side API events cannot be enabled for a pixel that has been copied and pasted into this form, right? So you actually don't see this field in the real life app. Okay, so then you can add the pixel. It gives you a little warning here saying that you're going to violate Trackify's TOS and possibly Facebook TOS if you run a pixel that you're not authorized to running, or that you don't have access to. So you click OK here, and you're done with that. And then the pixel shows up down here, and you can see here. So all 3 pixels currently say, please log into Trackify with your Facebook profile. And when I do that, there are going to be some differences here, because I mean that's the reason why Shopify makes you log into with your Facebook profile, is because you just can't do certain things with your Facebook pixel without having access to the pixel in your Facebook profile. You see, so now here it has changed a little bit. So these 2 pixels are now the full features are available here. It shows me the stats here, the 30-day stats, and for both of these pixels. And then for this pixel, it says this pixel is not accessible to your Facebook profile. And that's a true statement. And that's why you can't really do much on this here. You can obviously delete it. You can turn it off. But you can't see any stats. You can't do anything with this pixel that requires access to Facebook with the pixel and from your Facebook profile. And so other examples for what you can't do with this pixel, besides the server-side API, is building audiences on it here through Trackify, because you can't do that through Facebook either, right? So basically, the login with your Facebook profile in Trackify, and now also in Shopify, facilitates that you can access things in your Facebook profile, in your Facebook Business Manager, I should say, through the app, through Trackify, or through the Facebook app in Shopify. So it's not that this is something inherently evil or bad, or some sort of conspiracy or anti-privacy thing going on there between Shopify and Facebook, or between Trackify and Facebook for that matter. It's just simply a way to facilitate the security of your Facebook assets, so that only the people who are authorized to work on your Facebook assets can do so through the app, through Trackify, or through the Facebook app and Shopify. So that's basically the bottom line there. And yeah, so if you have any more questions on top of that, let me know. Otherwise, we are in the 25-minute mark here. Hi, Phil. I don't know you're still on, but I didn't see your comment until just now. So how's it going? How is everything? So quick recap here on the server-side pixel events. We're still in the process of creating some awesome reports for them. We are now running several dozen shops on the 3rd generation implementation on our end of the server-side pixel events. Currently, we have them active and available for master pixels only. You can test them out in the business plan, and they are as a real feature that's part of the plan, available only for the marketer and enterprise plans. So, but they are a total game changer. Just as a quick recap, there are other Facebook Lives that I did that you can refer to. As a quick recap, server-side pixel events, server-side purchase events, send a pixel event, a purchase event, directly from our server to Facebook for every single order that comes into your Shopify store. That includes any orders that are not placed in a browser by the user. So for example, recurring orders, for example, manually entered orders, anything that actually doesn't involve the user being in the browser. It's the perfect solution for any of these funky or all of these funky European merchant accounts, merchant providers like Molly Merchant or Ideal Merchant. We have had over the years many users, mainly from the Netherlands and Belgium, some of the smaller European countries that have these kind of funky merchant providers. And with them, it's always been a big challenge to get purchase events fired for them, because these merchant providers don't return the buyers properly to the Shopify thank you page, where the Facebook pixel is firing from Trackify, also from Shopify basic integration as well. So you can't trigger the Facebook pixel for many of the buyers that come through these checkout funnels. But server-side pixel events are the total solution for that, because every single order, once it gets placed into Shopify, into the backend for fulfillment, gets a server-side purchase event. Also recurring orders, which is an awesome thing, because it really adds to what you can see in attribution, what you can see in the effectiveness of your ads in Facebook, in your ads manager, and it's really, really a cool thing. So you should jump on it right now, sooner than later. We're ramping up all of our resources, all of our integrations, everything we can get done before the fourth quarter here really gets kicking into gear. But you're gonna have to be on board for this to really ride the wave through Christmas and through the fourth quarter on this brand new integration with server-side events. So far, from what I know, from my information, we're the first and only app that is actually making this real easy to integrate and implement. I mean, it's as simple. Let me take myself out again here for a moment. It's literally as simple. Let's say you have a pixel in here that isn't integrated, that hasn't enabled server-side API yet. You come in here like this, and this is your current pixel looks like this. It's gray. Well, all you need to do here is edit this pixel, enable server-side API, and off you go. That's literally all you have to do. So in all other integrations, like we had a Zap, there's that's been through the Facebook groups, a Zapier integrations with a Zap, and we made Trackify compatible with that, and provided a sample Zap that you could actually, a template that you could use. And so that was expensive, because the Zaps can become expensive when you run them at a significant volume, and also it requires all kinds of additional integrations. There's also a thing called conversion something or other, conversions API, something like that. It's also something that Facebook provides in the event manager setup. It's also using the same technology technically as server-side API as what we do in Trackify, but it's very complex to set up still. So there's just no comparison by just simply turning it on and kicking it off, and there you go. And like I said, we will have some awesome additional reports coming in here, and we're currently in the process of redesigning the dashboard, so you can see immediately when you come into Trackify what happened and what's going on. So yeah, so that's that. Enough rambling. If there aren't any questions about anything specific here with this new integration, with the basic integration for Facebook Pixel, then I'm going to cut this off right now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Leave any comments, any messages, any questions here, and come on, try out Trackify if you haven't done it yet. We'll help you out setting it up, and we'll help you get the server-side purchase events going, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Talk to you soon, guys. This is Thomas Bartka signing off. Take care.